Monday morning coffee. Good morning. How are you doing today? I got out my Christmas cup again just to have a little feel of where we are because we are at the end of January, last Monday of January. And my question to you is, have you already gave up on your New Year resolution? Because I'm sure that a lot of you already forgot all about that. You already took the New Year resolution, put it in the box, put it into the 13th file, and there's absolutely no way you're going to touch it again. And you're not going to think about it. You'll say, well, you know what, that was a good idea, but I don't think that I'm going to do this this year. Probably next year, maybe in a couple months. Now, pay attention. Every time someone say something to you like, "Oh, in a couple months," normally it's the paradigm that is making tricks on you. Hi, everybody. Good to see you here. Good morning. So, everybody's in your subconscious mind, your paradigm is making some tricks on you, and it makes you say, in a couple months that's going to be better. I'm going to be in better shape in a couple months. I'm going to have the money in a couple months. It's not going to be as cold in a couple months. So there's all kind of different crazy ideas that going to come into your mind, and that is the paradigm. Every time you're procrastinating, the paradigm is in action. The paradigm is in control. And again, for you who haven't heard this term, paradigm is the mental program that has control over your habitual behavior. So your habitual behavior are acting this way. So if you are acting this way, that means that as soon as you're going to try to do something different, the paradigm is going to kick in and going to default you right back into where you're going and how you're used to do things. I'm going to give you a very nice example about that. I think that was last Sunday. I don't know if I talked about that, but I'm going to say it again. We are on our way to have a nice breakfast last Sunday, not yesterday, but last week. And we're on our way for breakfast, and I'm driving, right? And normally on Sunday, I'm taking this drive, but we are going to cinema. My daughter, I have that date with my daughter every Sunday. And I'm driving, and I'm not thinking. And I'm started turning on the way to cinema, which is not at all in the direction to where we are going. For that particular day. And as I'm driving, I'm like, where am I going? Because I was on autopilot. I was following what I'm habitually doing. And that is what the paradigm does if you're not paying attention and if you're not thinking, and it's always going to happen this way. So just if you start paying attention to the things that you're doing and the way you're doing this, you're going to realize that you are rarely in control. Your paradigm is in control. Your habitual behavior are in control. And that's just the way it is. So until the time that you are addressing this challenge that you have of really being in control of your life, really thinking, not talking about mental activities. No, mental activities do not constitute thinking. I'm talking about thinking, being in charge of your life, being in charge of your action, and understanding how your mind works. You will just repeat what you've been always doing. And that is where the frustration comes from a lot of people. So all this to go back to the fact that this is the last Monday of the month. This is the last Monday of January. You might have started already with a great intentions in the beginning of the year. Intentions to change, intentions to have a resolution And by now, you already gave up. You already default back to what you currently know, what you've been programmed to do, and the conditioning that you've been building over the years. And those conditionings sometimes are coming from you, or sometimes they've been imposed upon you. So that is where that you've got to reevaluate what is your thinking and your habitual behavior, and that you realize, this is what I want. And make a conscious decision, and not just a conscious decision, but a committed decision that this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to move toward that regardless of wherever I am right now. Right? So in the title today, I was thinking, like, can we even go deeper? Because last week I talked like down the rabbit hole where I talked about energy and the ether and things of that nature, which a lot of people have been commenting on it and thought that it was pretty deep. When you study those things, you're going to understand that it is absolutely normal. This is the world we live in. Now, the fact that you don't understand it, it's because you haven't learned about it, right? I want to say good morning to everybody which is joining right now. Thank you for having you. Very grateful for you to spend time here this morning. So if you are paying attention to your world and start studying this type of information, you're going to realize that that information is universal. I had once a conversation with someone, and he was telling me that I should give this for free because I don't recall what he said, and I was like, you're absolutely right. This information is free. You can have it. Everybody can understand that. Actually, it's pretty simple to understand, but it's the application that you're not going to be able to apply it, because you have a paradigm and you have a cybernetic mechanism that controls everything you do, and it doesn't deviate from that because you don't get it and you don't understand it. So this part is the part that you're paying for. You're paying to understand it, not to just know it. Like, knowing, it's very easy. And if you're in the job of knowing, you're in the wrong job. You're in the wrong business. You are after the wrong things. I've seen a lot of people, and my father was probably the best example on that. My father had 2 master's degrees. Was a brilliant man, brilliant. Was able to really understand complicated things, physics and stuff like that. He could not find a decent job. Why? Because he had some paradigm that was holding him back. He had some self-limiting beliefs that was telling him and was having him not taking action. So it doesn't matter the degree that you are. My father was in the business of gathering knowledge. He was not in the business of application of that knowledge. And that, my friend, is what separates the people which have absolutely no knowledge. They've got nothing. They can barely read or write, but they're great executor. They're great doer. They are making things happen, and it's just unfolding beautifully in front of them. Everything they're touching turns to gold. Why is that? Well, if you ask them, they would say, well, I just do things, I just get moving. But if you ask them to explain this to someone else, they wouldn't be able to do it, because another person will do the exact same thing and will not get the same results. And that's what we call an unconscious competent. Unconscious competent. And a lot of people out there, a lot of people which are managing businesses that are having great success, are not capable of transmitting that information and that way of acting to their employees, to their leaders. They can't. And that is the difference between gathering information and knowing the information and being able to transmit that information so another person can understand it and apply it. And that is where everything shifts for the majority of people, is when you can truly understand that knowledge, you can truly take it and be able to verbalize in a way that you are understanding it. Maddie. Maddie is a fellow consultant. I'm going to see her next week in Toronto. I hope that you have all of your warm clothes because it's going to be freezing cold. Maddie is amazing. I really, really love this kid. She's 22, I think. 24, something like that. And she made a mission to help millennials, which basically we pretty much working with the same type of people because I love millennials. Like there's one thing about millennials is they want to do something that matters to them. And they just want to share, and she wants to share this with you guys, with the people which are on social media. You know, it's really funny because our mom and grandma, like everybody's on Facebook, especially. Because that's what's in, right? And most of the population are followers. So everybody's on Facebook because everybody's on Facebook. You know, this is the reality of it. But the people that are really consuming it, I believe, are the millennials. That's them that really are changing things, or shifting things, or making the social media as well like evolved so rapidly that right now we are in an era where that you can have a phone, and if you're using your mind, you can make a business out of it extremely rapid. Right? You can make a business and you can earn a lot of money very rapidly by utilizing social media. And that's the beauty about what the millennials are doing, is they're really utilizing that as a tool and they're making good business out of it. So I want to share with you something that I started studying now a couple days ago, where that it's been a high opening, and I share this with my sales director. And my sales director is a student of this material. He absolutely love it. He's really now on a mission to help people change their mind and change their mindset. And when he saw that, he was like, whoa, okay, this is something else. So when I said, can we even go deeper? The answer is yes. And I'm going to intend right now, I'm going to read something to you, and I'm going to just paraphrase it a little bit so you can kind of get it and help you to see where this can bring you. But it's just absolutely beautiful. And that's coming from a text from Thomas Troward, which if you don't know Thomas Troward and you love reading and you love deep shit, I really recommend you to go and to read Thomas. It's just amazing stuff. But that's a text which is called The Starting Point. And he starts like this. Order is Evan's first law. Order is Evan's first law. Actually, everybody wants order. In order for you to have whatever you want, you're going to have to create order in your mind. The manifestation of things on the physical world is an effect, a result of an orderly mind. So if your mind is in order, you can start creating things in the physical world, okay? Because nothing is created or destroyed, right? It's like people think that, oh, I created that. Well, you did transmutation of energy. That's what you did, which is one of the first laws of the universe. But I'm not going to get too deep into this for now. But you are transmuting energy from one source or from one state to another state. Okay? Even our body, right? Our body is a manifestation of energy, which when we die, basically that body is going to turn into dust. How is turning into dust when you are dead? Well, it's because the energy continued to move and to change form, transmute into a different form, which is transforming into dust. So what he says there is, getting things into a better order is the great secret of progress. And we are now able to fly through the air, not because the laws of nature have altered, but because we have learned to arrange things in the right order to produce this result. And that is very, very powerful. So we didn't start flying because all of a sudden the laws change. No, we could have fly in the time of Jesus Christ. Now, if you think about it, we could have fly in the time of Jesus Christ. The problem is we did not understand the laws of nature at that time. So we could not alter our way of utilizing them to help us fly through the air. Now, when we started understanding how those laws operate, and that's exactly what happened with the Wright brothers, because before the Wright brothers, a bunch of people tried to fly and they crashed. Some kill themselves, some have like very, very like crazy accident and so on. But the Wright brothers just kept going. They kept going, they kept going, they kept going until they started flying. And they flew for the first time for 14 seconds. And people said, no, it's impossible. Actually, people didn't believe. They said, you just flew for 14 seconds. That's not flying. Well, I was off the ground, and I stayed off the ground for 14 seconds. So you got them right, I flew. In their mind, they knew that they made it. They knew now they got the very first glimpse of arranging the laws in their favor so they can fly. Then he continues. The things themselves had existed from the beginning of the world. So it's not that all of a sudden we could fly. All of a sudden, like it was different. No, we always could. It was always there. But what was wanting was the introduction of a personal factor, which by an intelligent perception of the possibility contained in the laws of nature. So there's a couple things that you've got to see here. Okay, the very first thing is personal factor. So basically, people got involved into this idea, right? People got involved into this idea, so a personal factor, which by an intelligent perception. And perception is something which is extremely important. Perception is one of the laws, is one of your intellectual factors. Like there's the will, imagination, memory, perception, intuition, reason. Those are your intellectual faculties. Those are what help you to filter the information that you gather from the outside world and see if you want to get in a line on a harmony. I don't know if I explained myself properly there. But for example, let's say that you see there's something that from the outside world that happened, and you utilize your mental faculty as perception to see if this is serving you or not. Your perception is your point of view. So if you look at this and you see it as a problem, and I'm going to give you a trick today, which Bob is using and taught me, and I absolutely love this trick because it is so powerful and it can help you to really start utilizing your mental faculty as perception to the way you should be used, okay? So let's say you have a problem or you see something that looks like a problem. You're utilizing, so you're going to take a piece of paper and then you're going to write the problem on the piece of paper and then you're going to put it in the center of the table, okay? And then you're going to ask the question, is this problem in me or on the piece of paper, right? And then you start thinking about it. Is this problem in me or on the piece of paper? Now, from that standpoint, when you're looking at it, which is your point of view, you can decide to say, you know what? I'm going to change seat. And you should change seat physically. So from standing there in front of that piece of paper and looking at that problem, you decide to change to a different seat and go to another seat. And then ask yourself, is this, like, how would this person think about this problem? And whatever person that you care about, or whatever person that you know that would think about this challenge or problem in a certain way. So that could be your boss, that could be some great personality that you know, it could be anybody. And then look at that problem from another point of view. So you're mentally putting yourself into this energy of the other person and see how this person will help you look at that challenge or problem. And then you can change physically to another chair and look at this. This is an extremely powerful exercise because it helps you to see that problem from another point of view. And that is exactly what perception is. And when you start utilizing your perception the right way, I guarantee you, you will find solution to problems, which I don't really see them as problems personally. I see them more as challenges and things that help me grow. But you see those problems as you're going to be able to see the solution out of it. I promise you that. And this is so powerful. So we're utilizing this when we have some challenges or way that, like, you know, we really want to figure that out. We're utilizing this exercise when we do have a challenge or a problem. So I really recommend you to do that. So to go back to the text, he said the things themselves had existed from the beginning of the world, but what was wanting was the introduction of a personal factor, which by an intelligent perception of the possibilities contained in the laws of nature. So from the moment that you start looking at this, from the moment you start looking at what you see, and you start thinking and looking with a perception or different perception of how the laws of nature can be utilized in your favor, then you're going to come with solution. Then you're going to come with a different way of doing it. And that is exactly the way that the Wright brother was able to start flying and bring a plane in the air. And now it is a common thing. You know, if I want to travel, which I'm going to do next week, I'm going to Toronto, I'm going to fly. I'm going to fly very comfortably. Like, I'm capable of watching a movie in the air. I'm capable of broadcasting live to you while I'm 35,000 feet above ground. Bob told me, and that is one that I want to try myself. I think that's Emirat, which they have shower in the freaking plane, 35,000 feet. He says he got asked by the flight attendant, so Mr. Proctor, would you like to take a shower before we land? He's like, are you kidding me? He's like, no, we have showers, so we just want to make sure that you're comfortable before we land. It's like, you have a shower in here? Yeah. So you're absolutely right, I'm going to take a shower. If I can take a shower 35,000 feet in the air, I'm going to take it. And I'm looking forward to that too. So my friends from Australia, like next time I'm going there, I'm going to arrive there clean and speaking Spanish, tell you that. So the lesson to be learned from the practical activation of the present day is that of the triumph over principle. No, is the triumph of principle over precedent. Now this is very important. Okay, I didn't read this properly. Let me read it again. The lesson to be learned from the practical aviation of the present day is that of the triumph of principle over precedent. What does that mean? Well, if you're basing your current reality on what happened in the past, you will not be able to make new things. because, well, that's how it is. That's how it is. So it should stay that way. Our parents have been thinking that way. They've been programmed that way. Some of my friends have been thinking that way. Have been programmed that way. So whatever is happening in the past, whatever their present situation, that is it. It's not going to be anything different. Like, and you can only connect the dot when you look backward. So to give you an example, I was talking with some very good friend of mine this weekend, and we were catching up. Last time we saw them was in July. We were catching up on what happened since July, and like for them, pretty much was the same. Now, when we started talking about what we did since July, it was staggering, like the amount of things that we've done and the projects that we are on and where we're going. I mean, we can go on, and when we start talking about it, and you talk to someone which is not used to advance so quickly, which we call it a quantum leap, and even us, when we are doing our daily activities, it doesn't look that we're moving. But when you start looking at it in retrospect, it is absolutely crazy. And the amount of things that we accomplished since last July it's mind-blowing. But if you're thinking about the precedent, if you're thinking about what happened in the past, if you're thinking about what your current situation is, and you're not paying attention to the principles, right? Which the principles is the law. The principles is what the laws that operate this world. And if you're thinking about those laws and how you can utilize those laws in your favor and start moving things and start rearranging those laws in a different, actually it's not rearranging the laws because the laws never changed. It's rearranging your perception of those laws and utilizing that in your favor so you can start creating the type of results that you want in your life. Then you're going to be able to do what we call a quantum leap. Quantum leap is moving from one point to another one just like that. And in 6 months, it looks like that. Like where we are right now compared to where we were 6 months ago. So, to repeat that again, the lesson to be learned from the practical aviation of the present day is that of the triumph of principle over precedent, of the work out of an idea to its logical conclusion in spite of the accumulated testimony of all past experience to the contrary. So, again, if you are looking at things and you're looking at all the failures or all the things that says that it cannot be done, and you stay there, well, you're right. You're right. Nothing's going to change, right? Your goal, your objective, it's really to start looking at the possibilities and using your perception as a different way of looking at how you can utilize those laws in your favor to be able to start creating great results that you truly want to experience in your life. And that is just a part of the text that I'm going to share with you. I mean, he's going even deeper and there's even more to that, but I think that's going to be for another time. But this is what I'm studying right now. And I just love this. There's so many things that I understand better now. But as I mentioned in the beginning, the understanding is irrelevant. Because if you cannot apply that understanding, you're wasting your time. So you can have all the knowledge in the world, but it's the application of the knowledge that makes the great change. That's the application of the knowledge that creates the results. So while that I'm giving you a time to digest everything I just said right now, which, like, I ask you, can we go even deeper? Yes, we can. And I can go even deeper than that. So when I'm talking about the rabbit hole, That's what we're talking about. And that is extremely powerful. And you can truly be in control of your life, guys. That is what I want you to understand, is when you are utilizing this material, when you are utilizing this way of thinking, that's what makes the difference of the 1%, the 3%, call it whatever you want. The people which really make things moving in this world is they understand this and they apply it either consciously or unconsciously. That is not really, doesn't really matter how they make it happen. But that knowledge is available to everybody. Everybody, without exception. So it's available to you. And the application of it as well is possible for anybody. So that is what I love. And again, changing your mindset, changing the fact that when it's Monday morning, you're feeling shit, you're feeling that you don't want to be going to work. If that's the case, is like probably you're not going the right direction. Because if you're waking up on Monday morning, you're excited to go to work, you're excited to be doing what you're going to do. Like Steve Jobs said, for 33 years I woke up every morning, and if I was going to die, I was asking myself, am I happy about what I'm about to do today? And if the answer was no for too many days in a row, I knew I needed to change something. Do you need to change something? Do you need to start acting, behaving, thinking in a different way so you can truly live the life the way that you always wanted to live it? And that is exactly what I'm proposing here. So Monday morning coffee, do you have any question, any comment, anything you would like to share? Like, I have my friend Petra, which is arriving. You're late, Petra. We start at 8 a.m. Kidding. 9 a.m. for you, Mexico City. So deep. Need to rewatch the Thomas Troward part again. It is indeed very, very deep. It's down the rabbit hole, my friend. And then we going a little notch deeper, a little layer, a little deeper, like from last week. Last week it was good, but we were just starting. Yes, Monday morning is great, especially when you're with horses, right? Z is saying like, you're the best. Thank you, Z. I hope I see you to Toronto next week. Anybody else? Anybody has questions, comment, thing that you would like me to clarify to start your week properly? Because again, if you are, that's the end of the month right now, guys. The first month of the year. It's almost over already. Like just like that. Bang. And it goes so quick. It goes so quick. That if you're not paying attention, if you're not really taking a committed decision that you're going to make the change that you're looking for. And a committed decision is a decision with an action. So I said, yeah, I'll do that. Like basically, I'll do that, but later. And then you're not taking any action into it. You're not paying. For example, like, I'm saying that I want to take a Spanish course. And I didn't make a committed decision because I didn't take the action with it. Which right now, because I'm saying it live with you, I have to do it now, right? So that is exactly how it works. Again, it's all about work, right? Reprogram, change the paradigm. Yes, it is, Edgar. Like the way that our mind works is has this, like it's just like a computer. It's programmed. So the only way you can change a habit is through an emotional impact, which we don't want to wait for that, right? Emotional impact, something, and normally it's always negative, right? Bob is always using the 9/11 as a reference for that. But we can use an accident, a car accident, a close one, which something happened to them. and it just like freak you out, right? And it freaks you out so much that like you create, there's change in your habit that like instantly, because there's this emotional impact. The other way is constant spaced repetition, it's called. It's by repeating the same thing, watching the same thing, listening to the same thing over and over and over again. Now, you can do that on your own, but that is very difficult. Why? Because the paradigm is there, and the paradigm is a con man, is going to do everything in his power, and going to play some tricks on you. And those tricks sometimes are very, very, very bad. I mean, I had a client that literally almost killed itself because it didn't want to do the work. Right? Injured, like had a very bad accident. And I said to that client, you did that on purpose. And that client was not really happy with me. But like, when you're analyzing this, and when you're taking responsibility, because like it's not someone else that make you fail, you did it. Yeah, but that was this and that. No, all this is the paradigm was trying to explain it. You did that to yourself because you didn't want to make you didn't want to do what needed to be done. So now you've got a real reason not to do it. And that is fucked up. So you've got to be aware of like how insidious is your paradigm and how it's going to do everything in your power not to change. So while you're aware of that and you have the help to guide you through this is truly how you're going to be able to make those changes. Years ago, like Z is sharing something really deep. Years ago, years goes by so quick, and yet time does not exist. But we can use it in our favor and make committed decisions to live how we want sooner rather than later. One habit at a time. That is absolutely right. That is the way you're doing it. One habit at a time. One habit at a time. There's no, I believe that, and you should start with the one which is holding you back the most. So if for you, you're not getting things done because you don't have enough time, the first habit that I would change will be like the time that you wake up in the morning. Right there. Right? So instead of waking up at, I have another client that says, I wake up really early, like at 8:30. It's like 8:30? 8:30 is early? Are you kidding me? I was like, really? 8:30? I mean, I already have 3 hours of work under my belt at 8:30. And that is truly how that you have an edge over a lot of people. I mean, the majority of people, as a matter of fact. If you think 8:30 is early, then you're mistaken, okay? So let's say that you wake up at 6. I'm going to give you a break there. But every great entrepreneur wake up between 5 and 6. That is a rule. They wake up when the sun's waking up. Now, why do you think all the animals are waking up at that time? I think I already talked about that. But why do you think all the animals are waking up at that time? It's because that is the time where the energy is the most powerful. That's why all the animals are waking up at that time. Like there's a source of energy when the suns wake up. Like this is part of our environment. Like that is the natural state of affair, and that is how that you need. This is where the source of all energy is. So if you're waking up at that time, you're gonna have an edge on the majority of the population right there. So, and then that gives you a couple extra hour, just right there to be more efficient. Yeah, but I don't have anything to do, Marc. It's okay. You don't have to do anything. Just make sure that you're waking up and you're utilizing what is just in front of you to become more efficient. And just with this, you'll see you're going to be ahead of where you've been in the past few years. Like, no doubt about it. So that would be my first advice. If you think that you don't have enough time to do everything that you need to be doing, that will be the first habit that you should change. And with this, you'll see that your life's going to be better in a year from now. No doubt about it. So that is what's going to complete Monday Morning Coffee. I'm almost, oh no, I'm not out. I still have some here. I use a very big cup today. I'm going to go and do what I need to do today. Just enjoy the activities I'm going to do. And I really wake up at what time? You're going to have to go back, Edgar, because we're going to wrap this up right now. So just check it out. But you have to wake up between 5 and 6. That is, if you want to be a pro, and a pro is at its best regardless. If you want to be a pro, you wake up between 5 and 6. All right, guys, that's all for me today. I wish you're going to have a fantastic week. Make sure that you are in line with what you want to do, and use the trick of the challenge and the table, because this is gonna help you to change your perception and be in charge of your life and of whatever results that you want in your life. Have a fantastic day. Peace out.